Hi. Now, I hope you're not afraid of me because I remind you of a bad dog in the past. Anxiety is everywhere. Anxiety and stress have reasons for existing and ways of changing. Although it may be odd, I'm delivering a package of wisdom that has been around for ages and has been verified by all kinds of scientists, doctors, and anxious humans. And I've been dealing with garden varieties of anxiety myself for quite a while. Okay, let's take a proverbial walk around the block. Scoping. The inside, outside, and connections of emotion and cognition, or feelings and thoughts in everyday language. So there's fear on the bridge. Many obsessive-compulsive disorder OCD books. Pac-Man focusing on death, not surprisingly, and hysterical panic. A definition from the National Library of Medicine. Anxiety is a feeling of fear, unease, and worry. Stress can come from any event or thought that makes you feel nervous. The source of these symptoms is not always known. There's often a cycle where outer stress leads to inner stress, and that triggers anxiety. Generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD, is the most common. I'll say more about that after this list. Panic is fear of collapse and death. Phobia has a strong escape or avoidance focus. Obsession is the opposite, with extreme worried thoughts about doing something. Compulsion is doing many repetitive actions. PTSD is charged up trauma replays. Anxiety is the most prevalent psychological distress and most common cause of workplace disability in the U.S. In addition to work disability, the costs of anxiety include lowered self-concept and social esteem. Generalized anxiety disorder is persistent, uncontrollable tenseness, intrusive worry, and apprehension. And what you see around this cartoon guy is autonomic system arousal. A problem with GAD is distraction from real dangers, such as people, disease, stress, and solvable problems. It seems like a chihuahua in a small handbag. Fear conditioning can lead to anxiety. This anxiety then becomes associated with other objects or events, generalization, and is reinforced by feeling safer from avoidance. It can also occur from seeing models, observational learning, imitating what we see others doing. Anxiety can feed into disorders of depression and psychosis. Then reality is spotty, negating, nightmarish. Truth is anything I think. It's my feelings. The ego is supreme dictator. It's emotional reason, confirmed by avoidance. A speck of dirt equals a dirty home. A friend dislikes me for one habit. That means he hates me. Note, after 24 hours of sleep deprivation, healthy individuals show symptoms of psychosis similar to those observed in schizophrenia. Difficulty in knowing what is real. The perfectionist ideal puts excessive, probably impossible, demands on the holder. Extreme thinking generally leads to negative comparisons and thoughts. Most of what we worry about never happens, doesn't matter, or can't be controlled. There may be 5% that we can control, which makes a real difference. The confirmation bias seeks support for existing beliefs. If you believe that a person is hostile, you are likely to interpret their ambiguous actions as a sign of hostility. The thought of changing a belief, giving up security, certainty, identity, can cause anxiety. All biases filter info for quick reactions and defenses like, they don't care, I don't care. Anxiety influences perception by exaggerating threats. Fear of ignoring fear and memory of negative experiences are heightened. That influences stress and can trigger depression and paranoia. Excessive worry dwelling on loss or losses may result in actual loss of living and of friends. Voices are parrots in the mind. These ruminations can get ruinous. Not all stress is harmful, but if anxiety is prolonged, The resulting stress effects can be too much. There are many major impacts. The stress response is a fight, flight, or freeze response from adrenaline stimulation, increasing heart and respiration rates, mobilizing sugar and fat, and dulling pain. A psychophysiological illness is any stress-related physical illness, such as hypertension and some headaches. Psychoneuroimmunology is a developing field in which the health effects of psychological, neural, and endocrine processes on the immune system are studied. Stress that leads to elevated blood pressure may result in coronary heart disease, the clogging of the vessels that nourish the heart muscle. This diagram shows that continuous worry and excessive stress lower immunity and raise susceptibility to diseases. Also, chronic stressors lead to unhealthy behaviors and addictions, often many medications and other substances. How many? Awareness helps. Yes, it does. Since mind and body interact, everything psychological is simultaneously physiological. Treatment has to address that fact of life. Problem-focused coping is reducing stress by changing events that cause stress, or by changing how we react to stress. Emotion-focused coping is attending to our own emotional needs with social supports, writing, arts, crafts, exercise, food, alcohol, or drugs. Insulation from criticism with a heavy coat. In the current world of constant news, change, and different views, with insecurity, uncertainty, and imperfection, anxiety is high. Self-defense is in the golden rule. Do to others as you would have them do to you.
That includes self, so stop beating up on self.
Just relax is easy advice, but anxiety has its own reasons for existing and requirements for change. There is the good work of worry, valuable if temporary, a preparing for the worst and getting on with the best. Mark Twain said, worry shouldn't be thrown out the window. They can't be. But like a guest led to the door gradually and said goodbye to, maybe repeatedly. William James points out, attention is potent, but control is difficult. Another psychologist, philosopher, Epictetus, said over 2,000 years ago that what we say to ourselves and believe is the most powerful communication. With anxiety, metacommunication helps. Metacommunication is awareness above regular thoughts. It is special attention for wandering or even racing thoughts. Hyperactive minds need special tools and techniques for control. What to do with awareness? Now we're talking alternatives, about transmuting old leaden anxiety habits into valued golden enjoyments, seriously and playfully. Accept anxiety's arrival. Watch the wave go up and down. Act helpfully. Repeat the sequence as needed, and expect the best. An example is speaking to a group. The act helpfully steps include the 4 P's of success in this ditty. Plan like a fan, prep every step, practice the best, persist, persist, persist. New experience. Doing and seeing things in new ways, both physical and mental, can transmute anxious habits into richly valued enjoyments. Action qualities for managing anxiety stress include 1. Positive challenge, 2. Motivated commitment, and 3. Comfortable enough control. It can help get past our fears by finding our why for change, such as self-mastery, esteem, fun, friends, money, security. We can imagine doing what we want to do, maybe new talking and interacting. we are already often imagining the old stuff. Fear factor. Biggest, strongest fears are people, including us. Here's two easier examples of new mental physical experiences. 1.
A friend was bitten by a dog, didn't understand their intentions, and suffered anxious contacts.
Then later, in the right positive situation, she saw loving human-dog contacts in the park and became more familiar and confident and started to enjoy dogs in several different ways. A second example is my own mother. She had a lifelong fear that cats might attack her. As a child, she often saw cats on a dark, spooky fence while walking home. Much later in life, a fluffy, playful kitten came around frequently while she was gardening. At first, she would scream, "Oh, oh, get away from me." However, eventually, she saw the kitten as a friendly bunny.
Relaxation and
meditation have similar effects in reducing tension and anxiety. Mental systems get stuck on high, with echoes, loops, and noise, without peace and quiet and rest. A person might get natural feedback by holding the breath and tightening muscles, then releasing tension and breathing out. Mindful meditation includes being aware of tensions in the chest, neck, face, stomach, back, and other places, along with much more awareness and refocusing. Sanctuary scenes promote secure, serene feelings. People use relaxing images and words like oneness, peaceful, calm. We all need a safe place. Time is valuable. Choices are made. Choosing what versus what else. You can wait until good and ready. The question,
how to do your choice when ready.
Training is a way to prepare and get new positive experiences. What's new, pussycat? This is dealing with the old drama by rehearsing new or extended scripts. A little tale. Somebody was trying to get to a Broadway show, then saw a famous actor walking and asked, "How do I get to Broadway?" The actor replied, "Practice, practice, practice." It may require models, examples, and then sketching in mind a sense of how it will be in the future when the problem is overcome. It requires gradually believing in a new story. For catastrophizing, it may be a relief to imagine the worst and maybe see it as not so bad. Visit the bad, but don't stay there mentally.
Recall how you handled it okay sometime in the past.
Family, partners, and friends can help cope with stress.
Of course, pets can help too. They can all calm
The cardiovascular system, lower blood pressure, and improve immune functioning. That looks like my old friend Cato the Akita there. Exercise can raise energy levels, increase self-confidence, and lower tension, depression, and anxiety. It works when we work out. Getting on the move takes some belief in all the evidence. Psychotherapy, counseling, and coaching can give new perspectives in a supportive relationship with a co-pilot.
optimally.
It is a new context to plan, prepare, and practice communications with self as well as other people and the world. In conclusion, accept self and the current reality. Commit to your values. Take charge of life now. ACT. Act. For more on people skills and self-management, go to elguide.cc. So long for now.